All right, let's talk about fashion in China. But this isn't just about what's on the runway. We're going to dive into how every single piece of clothing, from an ancient robe to a modern school uniform, is actually telling a story. A story about culture, identity, and some massive changes. So let's get into it. Think about what you're wearing right now. What if it wasn't just fabric? What if your outfit was actually a conversation starter? A way to say, hey, this is who I am, this is where I'm from, and this is where I'm headed. Well, in China, that's not a what if. That conversation is happening loud and clear every single day, on every single street. And this conversation is, well, it's complicated. On one side, you've got these incredible traditions. We're talking 5,000 years of history. And then on the complete other side, you have viral trends that pop up on social media, last for maybe 5 seconds, and then poof, they're gone. It's this wild, dynamic, and sometimes totally contradictory mix that makes modern Chinese fashion so fascinating. Okay, so let's start with the past, because you can't understand the present without it, right? How does a country with such a deep history actually wear that legacy today? Well, you might be surprised to find that these echoes of history are literally everywhere in the modern wardrobe. First up, let's talk about Hanfu. Now, this is so much more than just some old-fashioned clothing. It's a full-blown cultural revival, and it's being driven by young people. They're forming clubs, building huge online communities, all to reconnect with the styles of ancient Chinese dynasties. It's a pretty big deal, too, sparking all these intense debates online about historical accuracy, about big brands cashing in, and even about what it means for national identity. It's literally history that you can wear. And then, of course, there's the Qipao. You've probably seen it, that iconic, elegant dress with the fitted shape and the high collar. It's just timeless. It's still this powerful symbol of grace and tradition, and you'll see it all the time at formal events like weddings and banquets. It's a beautiful way to connect modern celebrations to a really classic sense of style. Okay, so take a look at this number, 55. What in the world could that be about? Well, it's the number of officially recognized ethnic minority groups in China, and each one has its own totally unique cultural identity. And one of the most vibrant ways they express that, you guessed it, through their clothing. And what's so cool is that you can see how this clothing is a direct answer to the culture and the environment. I mean, look at the Tibetan shuba robes and fur-lined boots. They're not just stylish, they're perfectly designed for a cold, high-altitude climate. Or the long Mongol robes, called deal, which are absolutely perfect for life on the grasslands and riding horses. See, this isn't just about looking good. It's a story of survival, of celebration, and of deep, deep heritage. So we've got all this rich history. But how does that fit in with what's happening right now? Well, running right alongside these deep traditions is this massive, powerful wave of global influence that's totally shaping what young people are wearing in China's biggest cities. And you might be wondering, how does a trend from, say, a K-pop video in Seoul or a streetwear brand in New York actually land on the streets of Shanghai? Well, it happens at lightning speed. It starts with that global source, right? But then it gets picked up, amplified, and totally remixed on social media apps like Douyin. And then almost overnight, it pops up as its own unique local style. It's this incredible fusion of the global and the local. All right, let's look at something that really captures all of these tensions in one single outfit, the school uniform. It seems simple, but this one piece of clothing is at the center of a constant debate in China. Does it create a sense of unity, or does it totally crush individuality? Let's take a look. So the typical Chinese school uniform, it's usually a pretty comfortable sportswear style tracksuit, a jacket and matching pants. The whole idea is to promote equality, so no one feels left out, and to help students focus on their schoolwork instead of fashion. But like with anything, there are definitely two sides to this story. On one side, you have students who actually appreciate it. They'll tell you the uniform takes away a lot of the social pressure, you don't have to worry about having the coolest brands, everyone's on the same level playing field, and that can create a real sense of community and belonging. You're all in it together. But then, you've got the other side. For a lot of other students, that same uniform feels like a cage. It's seen as this major restriction on their creativity and their personal style. It really is the perfect example of that classic push and pull between fitting in with the group and standing out as an individual. So, we've looked at ancient robes, lightning-fast global trends, and even school uniforms. What's the big takeaway here? What does it all mean? Well, it's that all of these different threads are being woven together right now to create the fabric of a modern Chinese identity. And really, what this all shows is that fashion is so much more than just clothes. It's a really powerful form of communication. Think of it this way. It's a window into different cultures. It's a way to create connections with global ideas. It's a tool for building online communities and fashion tribes. And looking at all this invites us to make comparisons with our own lives, right? It all boils down to communication, using your style to express who you are without having to say a single word. And that's really what it all comes down to, isn't it? Whether we're talking about China or anywhere else in the world, fashion is fundamentally a conversation, a constant dialogue between the past and the future, between where we've come from and where we're all headed. And that leaves us with one final, really big question. Is China's next generation continues to mix and match, blending ancient traditions with cutting-edge technology and a sense of community with a fierce desire for individuality? What new stories will they decide to tell with the clothes they wear? I guess we'll have to wait and see, because this conversation, it's really just getting started.